Aquarius, and welcome to Wild Magnolia Tarot. My name is Maddie, and this is going to be your weekly reading for whenever you watch this video. Whenever you stumble across it, whenever you feel compelled to click on it, that's when it's right for you. Couple quick disclaimers: this is a general reading and cannot possibly resonate with everyone, so please take what does resonate, leave what does not. And if none of it resonates, it's okay. It might not be for you. You can check out one of the readings for one of your other signs: moon sign, rising sign, sidereal astrology sign, etc. Or you can go check out some of the readings by other brilliant, talented, fabulous readers on this platform who may have something more attuned to your situation this week. This video is for entertainment purposes only. I am not a doctor, lawyer, physician, counselor, therapist, financial expert, etc. I am just a girl with a passion for the tarot, and anything that I say resembling advice is based solely on my own opinions, my own knowledge and experiences, my interpretations of the cards, and any other little bits and pieces that may occur to me intuitively throughout this reading. If you do enjoy this reading, if it resonates and you'd like to see more, please feel free to like this video, subscribe to my channel, click on the notification bell so that you can get notified when I upload readings in the future. And if you have any suggestions for types of readings that you would like to see me do on my channel, please leave that in a comment. I would love to see your suggestions and implement them in future videos. I want to know what people want to hear. I want to know what people need guidance on. I want to know. I want to know. So leave it in the comments. And if you if it resonates and you just want to share that, or you want to reach out, whatever, leave that in a comment too. Love hearing from you guys. So with all that out of the way, we'll go ahead and get started with our theme cards for the week. And we kind of have a lot. A lot came out. If it jumps out, I'll keep it. So when I was doing the pre-shuffle and getting the theme cards out for you guys, stuff was flying. So you guys got a lot going on. We'll see what it is. We're starting out with the Star. So this is very positive. Hope, inspiration, a little bit of direction, divine guidance perhaps. It says the light at the end of the tunnel, a time of peace, harmony, and opportunity. So you may have a new opportunity coming your way. Next we have Judgment. In the moment of truth, call upon the forces of spirit and mind to make the correct decision. Okay, so you are coming to a period, some kind of situation where you are going to have to make a choice between one thing or another thing, or maybe even another thing. But you're going to have to make a decisive judgment that you commit to in terms of whatever the situation is, whatever's on your mind, whatever is coming to a boiling point in your life, right? You're going to have to make a decision. And I have a feeling that this Star with this Judgment is indicating that there is a new opportunity coming in for you, but that there is something, you're going to have to make a choice. You're going to have to decide between two things. You're going to have to decide what you put your energy into, what you invest in, okay? And that could indicate that there's something that you leave behind, or something that you move away from in order to pursue this inspiration, this opportunity. But we'll find out as we get more cards on the table. Let's go ahead and move forward. We have the Prince, light attribute, romantic charm, and potential for power. Shadow attribute, using power for self-aggrandizement. So this could indicate somebody in your life, somebody coming into your life now, in the near future, or perhaps somebody who already is in your life. It could be a potential romantic partner. Romantic charm and potential for power. So I think that this could also refer to you and the potential that you have to come into some sort of power in your life, maybe at work. Who knows? I don't know. We don't have enough cards out yet, but keep that in the front of your mind. Next we have the Mirror. Okay, so there's a lot of self-reflection that is called for in this situation. Time spent in stillness, quiet, thinking, reflecting on you, who you are, how you feel, what you want, what your situation is right now, and what you need to do to move things in the direction that you want. Next two cards we have are Animals, okay, companionship, which this can support the theme of romance or some kind of romantic relationship, but it could also be friendship as well, or even a familial relationship, right? A companion it could even be your dog, because it's animals, and it's about companionship. But you may find a lot of support and help and guidance within your relationships by turning to someone that you know, someone that you trust, somebody they have a deep emotional bond with, okay? This card could be coming up for other reasons as well. Maybe you're being asked to kind of be aware of the relationships that you have in your life, the connections that you have to other people, the people that you keep close to you who are in that companion category, and whether or not those relationships are working, or if they're good for you. So Next, we have electricity, wildness. Okay, electricity to me is also all about being connected to spirit. This is your wildness. I love it that we have electricity or wildness, and then we have animals. So you could be called to tap into your inner wildness, right? I don't know if I said that sentence correctly, but tapping back into a more, what's the word? I'm drawing a blank. Cue Jeopardy music. Primal? I don't know. We'll get back to that though as we get more cards on the table. I think there's just some element of yourself, a wild, deeper, the animalistic part of yourself, the instinctual part of yourself that you might be called to tap into at this time. And this can also, in a kind of a roundabout way, also be talking about your connection to spirit, your connection to your intuition as well. So let's see what else we've got. We have a change in the wind. Okay, so changes coming up for you guys, which makes sense, especially with the Star and the Judgment card. I mean, there's definitely going to be a change coming about that comes along with that decision that you have to make. Next, we have truth be told. So there's a need for honesty here, whether it be honesty with yourself or honesty with somebody else that you may be dealing with. It might be easy, it might not be easy. But there is definitely a need for honesty here. And I think, too, that it's about, because we have the mirror, right? We have judgment. I think that this has a lot to do with being true to yourself, okay? So if you are in a relationship where you feel like you're not being yourself, or you're in any kind of situation whatsoever where you feel that it does not align with your, your authentic self, who you really are on the inside, then it's going to slowly drain you. It's going to get old. It's not going to bring you meaning or satisfaction or happiness really of any kind. And so then you have to be honest with yourself about what you have in your life that is not aligned with you. And that's going to be what you're going to choose to let go and move away from, so you can move towards something that is more aligned with you, who you are, your values, things of that nature. Next card that we have is higher power. Okay, so this goes back to what I was saying about your connection to spirit, okay? And having faith in the universe or in spirit or in God, again, whatever you want to call it, especially with electricity, okay? Because I really do think that, like, energy, spirit, whatever, it's all like electricity, okay? So getting back in touch and getting to a place where you're able to be more aware of your sixth sense, if you want to call it that, your ability to sense energy, your ability to connect to and feel the connection with a higher power. And I think that could also tie into the animals as well, because we have that wildness factor, and there are a lot of animals that can perceive electromagnetic fields and electricity and energy in a way that we cannot as much anymore, because we're highly distracted. We have a lot going on. We're not as in tune with our senses as we could be. So you may be finding yourself in a place right now where you want to really start getting back in tune with your senses, being able to discern your intuition and the messages that are being communicated to you from spirit in that way. So I'm going to pull a couple cards now from my Astro deck to see what outside energies could be affecting you or your situation. It can be direct influence. It could be an indirect influence. It could be the influence, like it could be energy coming from other people that may be affecting you at this time. Often it's energy that is available to you to utilize to achieve your goals. So let's see what we've got for Aquarius. We have Cancer. This has been coming out for a lot of readings, actually. So feeling sympathetic, comforting, nostalgic, protective, intuitive, birthing, tender, nocturnal. I would throw maternal in there as well. Moody, receptive, lunar, introverted, defensive, family-oriented. So Cancer, to me, emphasizes the importance of self-care, okay? Compassion for the self as well as others. Having a compassionate and caring attitude, or way with others as well. It could also indicate that you're the type of person who spends a lot of time and energy taking care of other people. So then you have to kind of reflect on that and be honest with yourself about whether or not you're giving too much of yourself away, whether or not you're taking proper care of yourself when you're giving so much away to other people. So that's just something to keep in mind. Let's see what else we've got. What other outside energies are affecting Aquarius? So we have the 4th house, okay? Roots, family, home, background, comfort, cooking, inner world, real estate, shelter, self-care. Okay, self-care, there's that again. Rejuvenation, habits, and shell. I had to pick my cards up off the floor. Okay, so this may have a lot to do with your home life or your sense of stability and security right now. Perhaps there is a situation going on with your family at this time. Comfort's a big one as well with both Cancer and the 4th house. I believe the 4th house. No, never mind. Scratch that. I'm not going to finish that thought. So far, I feel that this is really emphasizing, again, self-care, the importance of taking care of yourself, evaluating your habits. Are they healthy? Are they not healthy? Can you make positive changes to those habits and routines that would better your life in any way? These are all things that you want to think about. Is your home life happy? Is it stable? And then with the number 4, 4 is all about strong foundations. So how are your foundations? Do you have strong foundations to build upon emotionally, within relationships, in terms of the material and financial things, okay? Let's get one more card from this deck, and then we'll move on to the tarot for to get into the details. Okay, we have the Moon, feelings, instinct, nurture, gut reactions, comfort, digestion, home, coming up again, family, coming up again. I think family came up on all 3 of these cards. Habits, also something that keeps coming up. Emotions, moods, self-soothing, okay. Mother or mothering, and Cancer is very maternal, very motherly. You could be a mother as well, so there may be a big focus on the home, on your kids, on your family unit at this time, which is very good. That is always something that you want to stay on top of. It's always something that you want to be present for, is your family. So a lot of nurturing, compassionate, caring, feminine, motherly energy here on the table right now. Okay, so I can see how for some of you guys this can have something to do with parenting, especially with, a judgment needs to be made, a decision needs to be made, the need for self-reflection, okay, the need for honesty in a situation, listening to your gut. If there's anything going on at home that really needs your attention, it's something that you want to step back and you really want to reflect on, you really want to evaluate, and you want to be honest with yourself about the situation. And if somebody else is involved, then you really need to be honest with them as well as to what you observe and how you feel about it. I think there's something too here about expressing how you feel about what's going on in your life, opening up, sharing with somebody else. I think that makes all the difference, really, when it comes to resolving any issues that might pop up, especially when it comes to people that you really care about, when it comes to family, when it comes to those close-knit relationships. It's all about being transparent and upfront, letting people know exactly what's going on, exactly what you're thinking, exactly what you need, and then working together to make that happen. So I'm going to go ahead and pull some tarot cards now to get a little more insight into what this situation is actually about. For Aquarius. Alright, so we have the 6 of Wands and it is in reverse. So this could be referring to a perceived failure of some kind. 6 of Wands is usually about a victory, but this is in reverse, so something went wrong. Something didn't go quite right. I don't actually want to say something went wrong because, I think that everything happens the way it's supposed to happen. But in terms of what your plans were and your expectations, something did not meet your expectations. Something perhaps that you tried to do that did not pan out, and that can leave you feeling very discouraged and kind of down on yourself. So we're going to clarify that to see what that is all about. What is this? Okay, and then we have the Six of Pentacles in reverse as well. So we have 2 sixes. They're both in reverse. This is imbalance. This is disharmony, okay? In terms of something that you want to create or manifest, your creative energy, and really your connection to spirit as well is out of balance. And then we have the Six of Pentacles in reverse. And so this really can, again, like I said earlier, you may be giving too much of yourself away to other people. You may not be taking care of yourself as much as you should be. And you may be engaged in some relationships or some kind of situation where you're giving away a lot more than what you're receiving in return. And you really do deserve to be in a situation where that is balanced, where you are getting back what you put into the relationship. And this can be a romantic relationship again. This could also be a work situation. Maybe you're overworked and underpaid, okay? Maybe you wanted to start something, you wanted to create something, and you invested in it, and then for some reason you did not reap any reward from your investment. So that's something that you really have to clarify. I am going to clarify that. I'm going to clarify that with one more card. Okay, we have the Page of Pentacles in reverse as well. So we have a lot of reverse energy here, and a lot of it is pentacles. So I feel like this is some kind of financial endeavor, business, creative project that you were hoping would, like bring in income, something that you could turn into, a source of income, like a reliable source of income, and it didn't work out. And I think that with the Page of Pentacles coming out in reverse, I think it's just that you weren't paying attention to the details. If we're going to be quite frank, I think that you really didn't know what you were doing when you got into it. I think you just jumped in and hoped for the best, and it didn't work out because you just didn't have the little things secured. You didn't have a good plan. Perhaps you didn't understand the market you were getting into if you were trying to sell a product. Or perhaps you didn't market yourself the right way. Because the pages in the tarot, to me, are like students. They have a lot to learn, okay? They're very eager to learn, and they have learned a lot, and they're just about to the point where they can take what they've learned and put it into practice, which is, I think, what you get when you have the Knight. So with the Page of Pentacles being in reverse, I think that there was some details that you need to figure out before you jump into this endeavor. I don't think it's something that's impossible for you to do. I don't see this as being a straight up failure. However, I think you tried to rush something. and it didn't work out for you. And there also may be, because we're coming back to this Prince now, okay? This could be somebody, it doesn't even have to be a man, but it can be somebody who's very charming, who wants to have power over something. I don't know, because I see this Six of Pentacles in reverse, and I'm thinking, what if you really invested in something that you wanted to create, and then somebody kind of took the money and ran, or didn't deliver on their promises when you trusted them to, and your plan fell apart because of that. And this kind of brings me back to last week's Aquarius reading, where it seemed like, somebody had lost some intellectual property, or someone who had been cheated or stolen from in some way. And so if that's the case, this reading could be success. What's the word I'm looking for? Could be coming after that reading. I mean, of course it is. Good Lord. But this reading could be referring to that situation for some of you guys, where you're still left picking up the pieces after something that you had really had a lot of hope for, kind of fell apart, didn't work out. You were potentially deceived in some way, and it ruined your plans. And with that Six of Wands in reverse, that's heavy disappointment. That's real. You feel like you lost. You might even feel like, kind of dumb, or you might be down on yourself because you thought that it was going to all work out, and then it didn't. But you have to be more forgiving with yourself, because this is how you learn. This is the process. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and move on, and then we'll come back to that as we need to. We have the Hanged Man, okay? So you're in a standstill. You're in a time of pause, and that's good. It's really good. You need to surrender a little bit of control to spirit. You need to drop the old idea, drop your old plan, and come up with a new plan, because it's not the end here. It's just that you need to reformulate. You need to go about this a different way. And because we have the Pentacles cards on the table with the Hanged Man, I can definitely see how this is, you know, implying that you need to have some patience with the process. And then we come back to these cards over here. A need to take care of yourself, nourish yourself, and get yourself in the right state of mind. Make sure that your foundations are strong enough to hold that which you want to build on it. Okay? And that's when things are going to come together the right way. So if you feel like you're stuck, if you feel like you're in a standstill and nothing's moving forward, that's because that's exactly what you need right now. And that has been coming out in almost all of my readings this week. You need to be still. You need to reflect. You need to take time to make a better plan. And going back to the Star and Judgment, there is a decision that you have to make before you can move forward again. And I think that decision is going to be about something that needs to be cut off or cut out, or a major change to your plans. Okay, we have the Empress in reverse to come out underneath that Hanged Man. So this just further confirms what I was saying. You're going to be in this stillness. You're going to be in this Hanged Man energy until you turn that Empress upside down and start really taking care of yourself, nourishing yourself, and nourishing your creativity and the things that you have already created. And then if we want to take this a step further, if this is a business thing, you know, making sure that you've got all your T's crossed and your I's dotted before you start, you know, really getting into the big things and starting to put yourself out there again. You want to make sure that everything is taken care of. You want to make sure that you're taken care of. You want to make sure that you're getting enough to eat, getting enough sleep, taking care of your body. Make sure that you're healthy and well, okay? That way you have the energy and you have the wherewithal and you have the mental capacity to overcome any challenge that comes your way. I think there is also an element here of being confident in your own ability to do something, because if it is true that some of you guys were taken advantage of by somebody else due to your thought that perhaps you needed somebody else, I think that you need to have more faith in yourself, more faith in your own ability to make shit happen without somebody else holding your hand, guiding the way, or controlling things for you. Okay, so we'll go ahead and we'll move on from that. Pull another card, another tarot card, see if there's anything else. So we have the Queen of Wands. Okay, knowing what you want is very important, and, you know, having a clear understanding of what your motivations are and how to, you know, take action on those motivations. So some of you guys, you may not even really know what you want, or you may want two different things, and you have to choose one or the other, which could be why the Judgment card is coming out. You need to evaluate your motives, okay? If you want two different things, and you want thing one because it's something that you enjoy, but you want thing two because it's something that, you know, other people think would be good for you and something that would please others, you know, then you have to really decide what is the best option for you. What's going to make you happiest? What's going to be most aligned with who you are? That is the choice you want to go stick with. That's what you want to do. You want to do what's most aligned with you. You want to consult your intuition as well, because Spirit is trying to guide you towards the right decision. And you can only receive, acknowledge, and accept that guidance if you take the time to listen for it. So let's go ahead and clarify that Queen of Wands before we move on. Okay, so we have the King of Swords in reverse. So, there's a need here for rational thought, okay? The inspiration, the drive, the motivation is coming from the heart, but your brain has to be at play too. You really have to be honest with yourself about your situation, where you're at, and what it's going to take to get you where you need to be. And with the King of Swords, I also see that as indicating that I think this King of Swords in reverse is related to the Judgment card. I think that King of Swords energy is going to be out of balance until you make a decision about something. Because the Swords card, I really do feel like a decision needs to be made between one of two things, and choosing one thing will be essentially discarding the other thing or moving away from it, letting it go. So there's something that needs to be let go here, something that needs to be released. I think I'll actually clarify that King of Swords in reverse. I want to know what it is exactly that you guys are having to let go. What you guys would benefit from releasing at the very least. Okay, so we have the Ten of Wands in reverse. And this is what you need to release. So this could be some kind of old dream, old desire, something that wasn't, again, it's not really seemed to be aligned with where you're at, who you are now as a person, but it could be something that you dreamed of a long time ago, and it's like you evolved, but the dream didn't, and you're still trying to make it happen when it's just not aligned with who you are anymore. You have to be honest with yourself about who you are now, because you've changed a lot since you started trying to accomplish this goal. Since you conceived of this goal, this idea, you've changed a lot. You've grown, you've matured. And so I think it's time to do some soul searching to discover exactly what it is that you really want and what it really is aligned with you, what would really make you happy, what's really interesting to you, what calls to you on a spiritual level. And that's what that mirror card is all about. Taking that time to really reflect on where you're at right now in the present moment, not thinking about the past, not pretending that you're still your past self, okay? Not relying on dreams or plans that were made 10 years ago. You know, be realistic with yourself about what your situation is right now. Be realistic with yourself in terms of where you need to start, okay? Which is probably at the bottom, especially if your plans fell apart in the past. They were flawed in some way, or there was another party at play that, you know, kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Sabotaged your plan. But I want to point this out as well, that nothing is an accident, and everything has a purpose in our lives. I truly do believe that. So if this Prince card is referring to somebody who is really charming, who came in and tricked you and stole from you and, you know, destroyed your plans, well, maybe there's a really good reason for that. Maybe you weren't on the right track. Maybe you were on track to manifesting something that would not make you happy and that would further trap you in a commitment that you realized wasn't right for you, okay? That you didn't value, that you didn't feel was aligned with who you are. Alignment, making sure that your goals are in alignment with who you are. That's really important here. It's really important here in this reading. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pull some cards from the Wonders and Witches deck to clarify our tarot cards before I move on to the advice section of this reading. First, we'll just go back. We'll get one more clarifier for the sixes and the Page in reverse over there. Six of Wands in reverse, Six of Pentacles in reverse, and Page of Pentacles in reverse. Why is everything in reverse? Dancing under the moon, freedom. Okay, so what I just said about, you know, you potentially almost locking yourself into something that you weren't going to enjoy, that wasn't going to be right for you, okay? Circumstances are what they are right now to free you from a situation that wasn't right for you to begin with, and you have to try to look at it that way to the best of your ability. To clarify the Hanged Man and the Empress in reverse, we have mirror, again, literally, two mirrors, okay? So this is, you can't make it up. This is important. This is a very important part of this reading. You have to reflect, because your surface consciousness is not on the same page as your subconsciousness. Your ego is not on the same page as your soul, and no meaningful forward movement can be made until you get all of you, all of yourself on the same page. Okay. Alrighty. So now I'm just going to clarify that Queen of Wands with the King of Swords in reverse and the Ten of Wands in reverse. Let's see what this is about. Alright, we have communication. This is about communication. Okay. All right. King of Swords, that makes sense. Communication. Honest communication. Decisive communication. Straightforward. Honest communication. Somebody, maybe it's you, was not very honest about their motivations in the beginning. Or maybe it's, some of you guys could really benefit from talking to somebody as well, talking this issue out. I mean, it may just help to get it out of your head and into the air so that you can kind of sort through it. Actually, I want to pull one more card for that as well. What about communication? So I got 2 more cards to clarify communication. Holy shit, no I didn't. I got 4. Alright, fine. Alright, here we go. So, witch, wisdom. Okay, so the situation is coming out to bring you wisdom. What does that have to do with communication? I think this has a lot to do with that honest communication is what's going to bring the wisdom. So perhaps there's somebody that needs to be honest with you that really kind of opens your eyes to some aspect of your situation that you weren't aware of or that you were kind of avoiding. Next we have the woods. Okay, lost. I think this is you. I think you're lost at this moment in time, or you feel lost at the very least, because where you thought you were going didn't pan out. You don't know where you're going next, and you don't know what you want, which is why you're in this hangman energy, is why you need to reflect. It's why everything is slowing down and coming to a stop, is to give you that opportunity. And then we have sage, spiritual cleansing. So it's time for you to do some clearing on yourself, to do some healing work on yourself, to clear your energy, to cut any negative or toxic ties in your life to other human beings, or anything that brings negativity into your bubble. You need to cut it out until you can get to the point where you're grounded enough that those outside factors do not influence you. Okay, and then we have the crystal ball, truth, okay, truth, honesty. These major themes come out in this reading, okay, because we have truth be told, truth, and then we've got, somewhere we have mirror, and then we have mirror, so there's a lot of self-honesty that's being called for here. Okay, you need to be honest with yourself about something. I don't know what. I'm going to be honest with you. It might be about this prince person, okay? You may have to be honest with yourself about that person's intentions or their actions and how it affected you, okay? Because whatever's going on now, whatever point you're at, whatever your situation is, you cannot move forward in a delusion anymore. You have to face up to reality. You have to accept it, and you have to make a decision to change your reality, to make it better for yourself. You have to make a decision. The truth is going to come out about something, okay? And it's either going to be spirit beating you over the head with it, or it's going to be somebody else bringing it to you, to your attention. But either way, you are going to come in contact with the truth about a situation, your situation, something that's relevant to you, something that's relevant to right now. And it's going to be something that it's going to be hard to chew. It's going to be difficult. You might not like it, but at the same time, it's going to really be freeing for you. It's going to release some kind of hold on you that's been holding you back, and it's going to allow you to move forward without restriction, without baggage, without any extra weight, okay? So while at this moment, it may feel like you're stuck or you're backed into a corner, right? It may feel like you're about to lose something, but the truth is, the only thing you're losing is the chains that bind you. So, I'll move on for now. I'm going to pull a card from the L-Key Oracle. This is just going to be a card that's going to give us an idea of either where you're at this point in time or where you're headed. I do not focus on the past with these cards, so this is going to be either your present reality or your future reality. And these are feminine cards, but if you are a man, they still apply. We have, very interesting, okay, we got 2 actually. So first we've got Isra, I think is how you say it. It says, she who dreams, escape, dreams, fantasy. Okay, so this could be where you need to be honest with yourself about. Maybe you've kind of been living in a fantasy land. We do it all. We all do it from time to time. So it's totally fair. No judgment. But you need to be aware of that, and you need to be honest with yourself. Have you been living in a fantasy? Is your reality what you thought it was, or what you're trying to pretend that it is? Okay, it's time to be open and honest with yourself. And then we have She Who Guides. Maputla, I think is how you say that, but I'm not sure. It says new path, guide, or renewal. Okay, so you're being encouraged. Spirit is trying to set you up to discover a new path, something that is right for you. You have to be willing to release your old plans, to release your old path, so that you can, so that that doorway to the new path can open for you. You have to be willing to release, the past, basically. All right, so now I'm going to pull a card. All the cards that I pull from this point forward are going to be strictly advice cards from Spirit on how you can move forward from this point. I demand that they be helpful. And I hope that they resonate. Let's see here. What do we have for Aquarius, please? Any advice for Aquarius? Alright, so we have childhood. So there may be some things from childhood that need to be processed, dealt with. It could be childhood trauma. Now, on a less heavy note, this could also be referring to those fantasies, those dreams, okay? Childhood dreams, childhood fantasy. This could be one of those situations for some of you people, some of you guys who are younger. Like, this could be just a really big growing up phase for you. That sentence came out weird. But, it's... Actually, I want to pull another card before I say what I was about to say. Let's see what else we got. Better find the childhood card, please. Alrighty, so we have eruption, okay? And then we have combustion, okay? And then we have deluge. And then after that, we have mystery. So I was only going to take one more, but then it gave me 4. And that's okay. Take it as it comes. So we got the childhood. Childhood is significant here. Something about your childhood is holding you back. That's something, and it may not be exactly the thing that's holding you back, but it's definitely related. It's definitely part of the root of the connection. And then we have eruption and combustion. Both are very similar. Okay, eruption occurs under immense pressure. Okay, so this may be feelings and experiences and memories, stuff that you've kept shoved down for a long time that you tried to disconnect from. This is all going to start coming up, bubbling up, and possibly exploding from you, because you have to deal with it. Because it's just time. It is time to deal with it. So if you have been living in a bit of a fantasy world, if you've been lying to yourself about your current reality, how you feel and how you're doing, that moment of truth, when you're honest with yourself, could bring up a lot of emotions. It could be very difficult and very heavy. And so I don't want to understate that at all. This is big, heavy healing work that you have to do on yourself. But you have this eruption. You release these emotions. You finally let them out of your body and just give them back to spirit. Give them back to the universe, okay? And then we have this combustion, which is a spark, okay? And this could be a creative spark. Like, this could really light your fire, all right? And then the deluge comes in, and I can see this being related to that, again, like a heavy downpour of emotion for you. It could also indicate a lot of things happening at one time for you, or a lot of stuff coming back to you, a lot of memories, okay, a lot of epiphanies and realizations that you had not noticed or acknowledged, or that you perhaps have straight up avoided up until this point, okay? You erupt, something within you explodes and catches fire, and then, oh shit, it all starts coming down. You remember this, you remember that, you gotta deal with that. Oh shit, I totally forgot that I never dealt with that. Holy crap, that thing over there, that hurt me really bad, and I never faced it. I never dealt with it. And so it's all just going to come pouring down on you. And it's not easy. But there is no time like the present to really sort your shit out so that you can move forward, so that you can take your experiences, gain wisdom from them, and then turn around and turn it into something positive and productive for you. Okay? Then we have mystery. To me, this represents the unknown path that you are being guided to take at this time. I think it is truly something that you didn't ever expect, something that you couldn't have planned for, something that you don't know about or understand. The future for you is mysterious. All right? But this whole emotional process of, release, this is going to open up your heart, which is going to open up a very clear connection to spirit and your intuition, and possibly even some like psychic abilities, things of that nature. So you may find your path veering in a very spiritual direction after this process. You may find yourself, doing work of a spiritual nature as well, becoming an energy worker, a light worker, a medium of some kind. Seems like there's some part of yourself associated with the mysterious, the paranormal, the supernatural, whatever you want to call it, that is waiting to be discovered and developed, right? But you cannot begin that process until you have released the negativity, until you've released trauma and healed wounds and addressed issues. You cannot enter that path with baggage, so you have to release it. And this is coming out every reading that I've done today. Every single one. Everybody is going through this release process. I think it's like just where we're at in space and the stars, and someone said there's eclipses coming, and I don't really know about that. Google it. But it just seems like everything is coming together right now, and like shit is about to explode, and people are going to start really, having to deal with their bullshit and their bad feelings and their memories and their traumas. People are going to have to start, contending with their health issues and their emotional issues and their mental issues, because there's such a huge opportunity to propel ourselves forward on our true paths, on our soul mission, towards finding our purpose and meaning in our life. Like, it seems like everything is just gonna like snap into place, and we're gonna get started. Like, we're gonna start sprinting. It's not gonna be a slow start. It's you ditch the baggage because shit's about to go down, but in a positive way. Okay, things are about to come together. We're about to have a time of a very intense energy where we're gonna be able to manifest like crazy. And if you get into that energy with all this baggage and all this negativity, you can't be sure that what you manifest is gonna be positive, because it's gonna have that negative attachment to it from the past. So that's why it's so important. It's just so important. I can't say it enough, guys. It is so important that we all, and I'm talking to myself here, that we find a way to open our hearts and shed all of the scars and the callous and the baggage that we carry around with us everywhere we go, because we do not want to continue carrying that when this new like shift in energy hits. We're going to want to be able to just start running towards our goals and making positive shit happening and manifesting abundance and manifesting happiness in our lives. So the hard work, the shadow work, the emotional healing, that's got to be done now, right now. Okay, so I just wanted to emphasize that. And so I'll move forward. I will move on. Okay, so I'm going to pull out just one card from this deck. I don't know, maybe two. They're just so pretty. But I know we've been here for a minute. So let's see, what else we got? What else we got for Aquarius? Christ. I didn't want that many. So we have the cactus, okay? This is all about perseverance. This is about endurance. This is about our ability to hang tight and survive in harsh conditions until it rains again, until things get better. I think that's, and generally speaking, this is the state that you've been in for a long time, and you may not even realize it, that you've just been surviving, that you've just been hanging on, waiting for things to get better. And that is about to happen. It's about to rain. I promise. Okay, next we have the ram. So this is all about your personal power. Okay, feeling empowered, recognizing yourself as a powerful, creative being, and having love and respect and compassion for yourself in that capacity, and having faith in yourself that you can manifest whatever you want. You can create whatever you want. You are, you know, you're powerful enough to achieve whatever you desire. You just have to be able to tap into that power, okay? Which takes us back to dropping the baggage. It's all the same. Let's see. That's all I'm going to take from those. Do a couple from the Earthbound Oracle. What else do we have for Aquarius? Earth. All right. Grounding. Groundedness. That's what I'm getting from that. You need to take time to ground. Get out in nature if you can. Obviously, it's, at least where I live, it's cold, and it's not really, like, reasonable to just go, like, frolicking in the woods. But if you can, I definitely recommend it. This can also be encouraging you to focus on earthly things as well. Focus on home life, and, you know, the mundane day-to-day stuff. Which makes sense because we got the 4th house card as well as Cancer, so it makes sense. We also have creativity, so you may be feeling creatively inspired at this time or in the near future as well. I definitely encourage you to indulge that strike of inspiration. If you're a writer, you feel like writing, sit down and write. You're a painter, you feel like painting, sit down and paint. It doesn't matter what it is. Indulge in that creativity. Creativity is a very good way of getting back in touch with our heart, with our intuition, and just with that raw creative energy in general. So if you feel like being creative, drop everything and do it. It's going to be good for you. It's going to help a lot with the healing process as well. In fact, if you are an artist or a writer or whatever, indulging in creativity through the healing process could also help you to sort out and contend with whatever you need to deal with, whatever needs to be processed and released. So next we have the sun. The sun comes out. It nourishes with its light, but it also illuminates, okay? So things that were not visible to you before will now be revealed. I think too that it's that metaphor of like the light of the sun nourishes the plants and the flowers and allows them to grow, just like you showing love to the darkest parts of yourself. Your shadow is going to allow it to heal. It's going to allow you to acknowledge the things you need to heal from and then heal from them. Okay, so there's an element here of being compassionate with yourself and having patience with yourself as well. Okay, we have inner vision, which this is actually, to me, directly tied to this creativity concept, okay? You have a strong inner vision. You may actually have a very strong like third eye thing going on. You might be a little bit clairvoyant or a lot bit clairvoyant or clairaudient or clair whatever. You might have visions. You might be having some very strong dreams right now. Vivid dreams, not strong, or both. Strong, vivid dreams. And these may be inspiring you to move forward as well. I think that you're going to be receiving a lot of signs, a lot of communication from spirit in any way that spirit can reach you. And you need to pay attention to that. So if you're most reachable in your dreams, you're going to be having some wacky dreams. If you're most reachable when you're in a creative mind state and you're writing or you're making music or whatever, then that's when spirit's going to try to communicate with you. So keep your heart open, keep your mind open, and just listen. Listen for that guidance. Listen for the signs. Alrighty, so I'm going to pull one more card for you guys from the Learning to Witch deck. I don't know, maybe 2 more cards. I have no self-control. Let's see what we've got here. We have recovery, alright? Address wounds, become whole through healing. I'm not going to dig into that because that's what I've been saying this whole time. It's just confirmation. It's time for you to take time, spend time on healing. Focus on your healing. That is the most important thing right now. One more for Aquarius, please. Create. Dude, create. Creativity. This is huge. This is huge. Healing through creativity. Healing through art. Get creative with your bad self and do some work on yourself. with your creativity. However that works out for you. If you paint, if you make music, if you write, whatever, do that thing. Do that thing, because I find that almost always artists are divinely inspired, even when they don't realize it. Okay? And what you end up creating in that healing process could be very transformational for you. Like, you might be able to unlock a lot of things that you've kept hidden deep within yourself through creation, through art. So, oh, and it also says time for self as well, which has been a theme in this as well. Very important. Take time for yourself. Take time to be creative. Take time to nurture yourself. Take time to take care of your body as well as your heart and your mind. And just be honest with yourself and hold that intention of releasing the past and moving forward with freedom in the future. Okay? Because at the end of the day, what happened in the past, it's in the past. It happened. Okay? If you got fucked over, it happened. If you lost something, if you didn't achieve the goals that you were hoping to, if you encountered a great disappointment of that nature, it happened already. It happened to teach you a lesson. You have to be able to take the lesson. You have to be able to appreciate the wisdom that you've gained. You have to be able to process, acknowledge, recognize, respect the hurt that came with that. But then at the end of the day, release it, let it go, give it back to spirit. Forgive whoever, whatever you need to forgive. Forgive yourself if you need to forgive yourself. Okay? Because the goal is to move forward with compassion and love for self and others, and trust and faith in spirit, that spirit is going to guide you exactly where you need to be, exactly when you need to be there. Okay, so hopefully I've been calling you guys Aquarius this whole reading because my brain is like fried. But I want to thank you guys so much for joining me. Hopefully this was helpful, hopefully it resonated, and if it did and you enjoyed it and you'd like to see more, please remember to like this video, subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, leave a comment if you feel compelled to do so. Thank you again for joining me. You guys have got this. You're gonna be okay, and I'm definitely cheering from you here in this tiny corner of my office. So take care of yourselves, and I will see you guys in the next one.